Good afternoon to you. Mark Suttoth, HurricaneTrack.com, here with your Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for Friday, August 19th, 2016. I want to go over a few things here with you before we head into the weekend. First off, out here in the eastern Pacific, we have Tropical Storm K. No threat really to the Baja or mainland Mexico here. This will eventually move up and then turn out over cooler water where it will dissipate. So no major impacts expected from that. In the Atlantic, we have Tropical Storm Fiona here. This is Bermuda way over here to the north and west. No impacts expected from this. Even if it moves in this direction, I do expect that it will weaken considerably. It's already fairly weak. Top wind's only 40 miles per hour. And you can tell it's being pulled apart here by strong upper-level winds, tearing the thunderstorms apart, stretching it out a lot like pulling cotton candy apart, I guess you could say. Here we have a very large envelope of energy. This is Invest Area 99L, and I'm concerned about this for our friends here in the islands. We know that Hurricane Pro and HD users are all over the globe, and we have to certainly keep an eye on things here. If you're in the Eastern Caribbean, I'll get on more in detail on that in just a moment. First, the official forecast track from the Hurricane Center. Again, no problems here for Bermuda, even if this is generally heading in your direction. Looks like it's going to weaken over the central open Atlantic there before ever even reaching Bermuda, if it were to do so, which odds are against it. But really just trying to paint the positive here that if you plan to go to Bermuda or are already there, I think you know as well as I do that this doesn't pose a threat to you. The graphical tropical weather outlook map indicating certainly the possibility for impact here in the Eastern Caribbean from Invest Area 99L, a very well-developed tropical wave out here. This other system coming off of Africa, in fact, I can show you here better. This is the area that's causing the yellow outline for this region, and this is Invest Area 99L. I'm not too worried about this for the time being, but this is more than likely headed towards the Caribbean Sea, and at the very least, I think we saw very explicitly here from the rainfall in Louisiana from that semi-tropical low. It certainly wasn't a depression or a storm. The flooding rain that caused, and thinking about Erica last year that impacted Dominica, we cannot ignore that even if this is very slow to develop and is, quote, just a tropical wave or a depression by the time it gets here, it goes without saying that it'll still bring squally weather and the possibility of very heavy rainfall for some of these hilly, mountainous terrain areas of the islands of the Caribbean. Again, looking at the forecast models for Fiona, some of them, kind of leaning it back over towards Bermuda, but this is a pretty wide spread. Bermuda is only so many miles long, the series of islands that makes up Bermuda. So again, probably should just stop talking about it, but more or less trying to put people's minds at ease in case they were wondering, is this going to affect Bermuda? It does not look to be the case. In fact, the intensity guidance generally is a downward trend, so that's good news there. The Saharan air layer, partially responsible for keeping Fiona in check, pretty well established here, but south of it, we have 99L, and then our other system, this will eventually be called 90L, 90L. Remember, they use 90 through 99 as their numbering system for these areas of investigation, and the letter L for Atlantic. Overall, the wind shear generally favorable out here in the open Atlantic, changing here in the rest of the Atlantic's always evolving, starting to become a little bit more favorable overall. The vertical instability still lacking in the tropical Atlantic. This is your average of where it should be, so we're a little bit below that average, but not enough so to completely prevent development, and therefore the overall guidance envelope from these different models indicating a potential threat to the Eastern Caribbean. So heads up if you're in that area. I want you to make sure you are aware, and once more, just emphasizing, as you know, probably better than anybody in the Atlantic Basin since you're pretty much on the front line there. It doesn't take a named storm or a hurricane to cause you great misery and human suffering. We saw that last year with Erica, and we don't want a repeat of that. As I mentioned in my blog post today on HurricaneTrack.com, I realize there's not much you can do to prepare for flash flooding and a tremendous amount of rain in terms of your property. Can't move your house. There's only so much you can do on a physical level to get property ready. but making sure you're out of harm's way or have safe haven is something that is controllable, and people can generally do if they're aware of it. That's the bottom line, is they have to certainly be aware. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Have a great rest of your Friday. Again, I am Mark Sudduth for HurricaneTrack.com. That's my website, of course. And for Hurricane Pro in HD, have a great weekend. I'll be back with a lot more for you on Monday.